Hey, Mr. Celebrity, you're becoming irrelevant and people are forgetting about you. We can get you back in people's eye. If you got a story about COVID, you can tell us. Anything about COVID affecting you in any way. Make something up, something weird and different. Did you experience hair loss? Because you got old, but you want to attribute it to something so you can get a little tidbit made about you, get some more streams going, sell a few more MP3s, maybe get another endorsement deal. Well, just tell us some more stuff about COVID, because that's what we're selling right now is this right here. Something happened to a kitty on our back porch, it looks like, because there's no blood leading out, there's just blood leading away. I had a little bit of food still down here from a kitty I fed last night. I was out there. And I just wonder what could have happened to him. I'm setting up another camera today. That one's not going to be external. That one, Amber may not even know is running. 12:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but I clocked at 7 minutes fast, so it's 12:11. Oh, 12:12. It's 12:19. August 23rd, 2021. What is it? Monday morning?
The 23rd.
Monday morning, late Sunday night, depending on your perspective when you go to sleep. You know, if you're going to do good works here in this evil paradigm, this evil construct full of welfare phantoms who will sabotage it, you have to kind of do it on the sly. Like, you can't let them see you doing it. You can't do alms before men anymore. It's like if they see you, say, doing something good for a homeless animal, they may decide to hurt that homeless animal, because the spirit that controls them is the opposite of the spirit that controls you. It's in your spirit to do good by the animal, and it's in your spirit to entertain their child mind by hurting it. And they knew they were making a generation of child-minded subhumans when they brought gangster rap to the radio and made it mainstream. After they did the study, they proved that people who listen to rap, as opposed to people who listen to music with, composition, like rock, metal, jazz, country, anything with composition, people who listen to looped music, just little pieces of music, who are talking over it, they're incredibly less intelligent. Those who listen to the rap are way stupider than those who listen to the other kinds of music. You won't find that study online anymore because they squashed it and removed it from the medical journals when they brought gangster rap to the mainstream. And you remember that what they brought up as gangsters and presented to you as gangsters weren't even gangsters. They were entertainers. Some of them even went to college, like Ice Cube, for example. Went to college. So it's like, hey, well, yeah, you had such a hard gangster thug life. You need to rap about that shit, yo. How oppressed you was. So yeah, you gotta, to protect your charges, those that you're assigned to by the universe, the next timeline, like if you come back to this timeline, you're gonna wanna help the suffering. You can't just stand back and let them suffer at their hands like the rest of the freaks that, they don't make it to the next timeline. You'll notice there's a lot of welfare phantoms here. And if you time jump back to this timeline, well, for you to be able to do that, you have to have graduated to the next timeline anyway. Or if you time jump back to this timeline, you're going to be inclined to want to relieve some unnecessary suffering. And you got to be careful how you help entities, because there's entities who want to take
how you help something and hurt them with it. Like if you feed some homeless kitties, they might turn around and feed some homeless kitties some poison, you see, or some food that's poisoned, just to kill them via the same method that you were trying to save them, you see. I mean, this is an evil timeline, yo, where they rape toddlers and retarded women, and you can't let your wife walk down the hall by herself to check the mail because, well, there's thugs who will take advantage of her if she's not smart enough to resist them, you know. They'll take advantage of a retarded woman's retardation in this timeline to exploit sex out of her. I mean, you know, if you're from the next timeline and you've, you know, been presented with a retarded woman in this timeline, you probably haven't even been able to fuck her. Like, you know, you may marry one and it may take you a month to be able to actually ingratiate yourself sexually in her flesh. But there are entities here who will see her, and because she's retarded, they want to fuck her. You see, now those are welfare phantoms. They don't make it to the next timeline. They get time looped as the women, and they get time looped fucking the women with their mother's spirits in their the women's bodies, shit like that. Maybe their daddies, if their daddies raised them up to be that way, you know. They got no regard, you know, like a man would have to want to protect a child or somebody feeble-minded or something. They want to exploit them instead. Yeah. So, you know, you're going to run into a lot of that where you see a lot of what doesn't even exist. And it's here. And it's running around like it does exist because it doesn't realize it doesn't. It doesn't realize there's a minimum standard. There's a U.S. Foods double hauler comes through here every night. And there's a minimum standard of what's going to make it to the real world. And there's a minimum standard of what's going to make it to the next timeline. Selfishness doesn't get you there. Self-servience, exploitation, just so you can fucking get over, or you can have pleasure. So if you come here, you're presented with opportunities, you better make sure that they're good opportunities. If you're not sure, just excuse yourself and go masturbate, because it could be a trap meant to put something in your non-tamperable, non-deletable spirit memory that is not supposed to be there, you see? Because they'll try and sabotage you when you come back to this timeline. They'll try and bait you into violence and all other kinds of shit. They'll even call themselves, you know, raping your wife and stuff to try and bait you into violence. Because if they can get you to do something that you didn't do before, something evil, so you can come here and do all the good you want, but if you come here and do something evil you didn't do before, they might be able to nullify your graduation to the next timeline. And that's why it's not recommended that you come here. And if you're not very self-disciplined, take your ass back home while you can still get there. Take the same trail back across the abyss and the astroscape, and send your spirit from this timeline back here, because that's the spirit that actually walks it out. 12:37 a.m., so it's 12:30. You know, you try to relieve the suffering of an animal, at least make sure they got something to eat. If you can't do nothing else, if you're not in a position to get a humane trap and say catch the feral kitty or a stray puppy dog and take and get it fixed and get it adopted out, you know, foster it till you can adopt it out. Because some of us aren't, I'm not in that position anymore. I really never was. I didn't have the money to get a humane trap to catch the cats, stuff like that. I didn't really have a whole lot of participation from the community. You'll find that out too, that people hate the homeless animals that they caused to be homeless with their own neglect, you see. So they hate the product that they created, the homeless animals. Well, they had to buy tickets to the game, or, you know, more data, or another video game, or some other lame fucking shit, you know?
There's 2 more buses.
a new phone or some meth or some crack or some cocaine or some heroin or some X, you know, some more weed. So they couldn't take the animal and get it the basic stuff that needed to be done, right? And that's how it always happens with cats. As you know, with cats, they're supposed to. You don't know that. You can't see it. With cats, their owners don't take them to get them fixed. So then they spray. Right about 4 months old is when the cat should be taken to the vet to get fixed. 4 to 6 months old. Male or female. It's because it's female don't mean you don't want it fixed. See, it's kind of how you have to see it as well. Maybe you can't do nothing else, but maybe you can relieve their hunger. Their life's already going to be hard and short. And sit there at their flashing yellow light, daydreaming. Aslan's not here with us tonight. He's been gone since Friday night. So we walked up here by ourselves Friday night. Pardon me. And then the Saturday morning, had the first normal morning in a long time. Not because the dog was gone, but due to evidence of a lack of whack behavior, right? So, no, that looks like an ambulance. Both of them do. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that's what they are, but they look like it from there. When it's turning, chances are it's an ambulance.
And that one is. The footage.
Okay, yeah. Kind of had a normal Friday morning. Or Saturday morning for the first time in a while. Due to the proof of no whack behavior. Or the appearances of it. Which is the only morning so far, that we've had that, right? It's just been weird and strange for a while now. Like there's demons creeping around in the hallways of a castle or something. If you've been on the astroscape, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And there's a lot of dark energy there. Yeah, so we didn't walk up here last night. Took a night off from it because it felt so weird to walk up here without Az. But tonight I wanted to come up here and see if the kitties had anything to nibble on or anything. See if I couldn't give them a little snack. And we couldn't find the blood trail from that kitty that left a path on the patio, but neighbor lady came over and loaned us her broom, and she cleaned her side, we cleaned our side. She swept the food off the back deck with her foot. I was actually trying to tell Amber to tell her something different than what she told her. She told her blah 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 about feeding homeless kitties, and well, I was just giving one cat some food and he didn't finish it. That's a whole nother thing, you see. And then it's like, who knows what the fuck happened to that cat when it came up to eat some food. Could have just had, some mouth problems and biting into the hard food made his mouth bleed. Who knows? We didn't see it, and there was no video footage of it because of the glare. It was so bright outside. Now I'm going to have 2 cameras running so that there could be no question. And the one camera's gonna be offline so nobody can backdoor it whenever we're asleep. Or they won't even be able to look through it or use an app to try and control it. I mean, if there's somebody doing that, which, you know, there's creeps, man. They'll torture animals, diddle toddlers, and diddle retarded people, you know. Put their dick in people that make your dick go soft simply because they're retarded. That's what made their dicks get hard. It's like, ugh, gross me out, y'all. Y'all nasty. Y'all eat boogers, don't you? And Discount County boys heading north. Just drove past us. 12:49, so it's 12:42 a.m. They must have just came off the freeway. Patrolling. Yeah, I'm experiencing some weird health shit. Stop at that flashing yellow light. We always see at least 2 people do that a night, at least. I don't always get it on film. Because you just never know, oh, that car coming up is going to stop at the flashing yellow light. Yeah, it seems weird being here without Asmalaz. He'll be back later today. At least he gets off work. We'll bring him by, Ryan John. Somebody power washing over there at Burger King. That's when they would do that, probably is at night. Power wash shit off. So that's what we've been hearing is a power washer all this time. Just took them getting around here spraying with the nozzle for us to know. It's a nice night out, about mid-60s. Feels warm. It's kind of quiet, except for the guy power washing Burger King. The occasional car blowing through. 12:52, so it's 12:45 a.m. It's 1:30, so it's 1:23 a.m. You know, in the next timeline, there's no Wall Street, there's no healthcare system, there's no illness. And there's, you know, y'all don't know that the same people who own stock in the entertainment industry own stock in all the healthcare and the vaccines and the vaccine companies and shit, right? So, they can use the mainstream to program a whole generation to promiscuity. Then create a vaccine for a precancerous condition that can be spread into women to cause cervical cancer, like HPV, for example. And because they know that they've got the females so programmed to be promiscuous and indiscriminate sexually, that they know that they have a good argument to legally want to require that all young girls get vaccinated for HPV before age 12. You see? So you see how they're using one thing to get another? Like they use the programming of the media to get people to act a certain way, so then they can spread this little thing that will cause a precancerous condition that can become deadly. So you either got to make your choice of catching the cervical cancer and having an operation where they cut out part of your vagina if you're lucky, or you get this vaccine, this handy little vaccine that protects you from it, and you can continue to be promiscuous. You see, instead of teaching you abstinence and the value of character, like being able to be monogamous and committed, be in a high fidelity relationship, This is like, we don't got none of that shit happening in the next timeline. There's nobody to sell the shit to anyway, because nobody's promiscuous there. None of the promiscuous people here made it. All that riffraff is gone. It's been time looped with all the bullies and the rapists, the adulterers and the murderers, all the greedy people, all the people who hurt animals and neglect them, and those who like to see it. Got rid of billions of welfare phantoms up in this shit. Billions of them, man. This planet is like contaminated with an infestation. That is, they're subpar. They're subhuman. They're supposed to be human right now, and they're subhuman. So, well, they can't be beyond human. Then they can't be one of us. One of the gods among men. Who actually makes it to the real world, right? And look at how self-serving they were here. They just damage more shit to have their thrills, their secret little thrills, fulfill their own lusts and their own gullets, their own pockets. There's no greed in the next timeline, yo. Everybody lives happy, full lives. Everybody's contributing. All sex is happy energy sex. None of the negative, dark dungeon shit you got happening here. There's no dark web here or there, and there's no dark web. People would look at the dark web. There's no internet there. There's no cell phones there. It's heaven, man. There's no sports. There's no rap. I know hearing a rapper in this time I can talk about there not being no rap and that being a glorious thing. Well, it is, okay? It is. It's a glorious thing. There's no religion, no government. None of the shit that's here fucking everything up. Nobody dumb enough to be entertained by sports. Sports is a form of violence. You notice people who like sports usually neglect or hurt animals or like seeing it. So nobody would sport hunt an animal just for a trophy. Yeah, we got a lot of good entities in the next timeline, yo. I'm really proud to be amongst those that graduated with them. I'm in good company. Cruising. Yo, what's up, dude? Doesn't look like he's stopping the speedway. 1:44 a.m., so it's 1:37 a.m. He's going through early. He's not stopping the speedway. Last time we seen him, 2 nights ago, he just cruised right on by speedway too. don't know what that's about. Why ain't stopping there no more? It used to be his regular stop on his way through. Maybe he was stopping in to see a girl that doesn't work there anymore. Maybe he finally won her over and he has her locked away at his house now. Yeah, I'll take you home with me. I got a really nice place. You will like it there, I promise. Every day I promise to let you off the chain to come to the bed with me for 4 hours. And then you can go back to your closet and get back on the chain. Sad to say, there's some people, if you were to hook up with them, you probably have to live like that. I'm not like that, man. I prefer, like, I don't know, I want you to think about something that, like, in this timeline, the freaks that traumatized me so bad, because, well, we don't have rape or feeble-minded people or diddlers of the feeble-minded. We don't have pedophiles, none of that shit in the next timeline, right? So I come here and I'm just bombarded by this shit, and then it gets like it's brought right to my fucking door. It's brought right into my life, my house and shit. A sexual predator comes in with the lease agreement in his hand, given to him by Stratford. The job's given to him, and he can't even meet somebody like my wife without fucking imposing his own fucking sexual desires upon her and taking advantage of her and passing her around all his buddies. You see? So imagine you're exposed to that when you know, bounce back in time to see, well, why was I so crazy before I came here? I had a point to all this. I forgot what it was. It's 146, so it's 139. Okay, you imagine. You come back and you see you had such high character, and in your physical memory, which you can look at, you can see that, okay, you've had over 200 women, you know, physically. Some of them, you know, more than once, naturally. Especially the ones you were with for a long time. And, you never took advantage of a woman in a vulnerable state of mind. Like, you know, Vinny has it in his memory, even taking care of a woman, one of like many, probably 150, almost 200 that he turned down, you see? Because he wouldn't fuck a woman in a vulnerable state of mind and divide her house, especially if he liked her or her husband. And he's had a lot of women throw themselves at him in, you know, vulnerable states of mind. And he always, you know, just deflected from the sex. You know, turned it down, declined to participate. You see, because, well, he didn't want to be like a regret, a mistake, something that, okay, had she not been in a vulnerable state of mind, she wouldn't have fucked him, you see. So, yeah, he's got a lot of that. Like a woman he took care of, for example. He knew better than to mess with her when she wanted to. Her daughter, same thing. Just, you know, don't go there. Married woman who has kids, who is your boss, and don't go there. You know, go jack off and go back to what you were doing before you got distracted by her ass. You see? So Vinny had the self-empowerment of being able to take care of himself, just rub one out real quick like a woman, you know? Because imagine if women ran around, you know, I'm talking about like intelligent women who hold the world down working on the workforce. Imagine if they were running around inclined to just have sex with everything that they were attracted to, you know, on the job and shit, right? How nothing would get done, ever. I mean, if it was left up to guys, that's all that would be happening. Their jobs would be getting done. The majority of them. So women have to set that example. Hey, you know, they'll go to the bathroom and take 2 minutes and rub one out on the toilet while they're taking a piss or a shit. And go right back to their job clear-headed. They ain't thinking about fucking nobody. Even if, you know, not even the hot mailman or the hot security guard, you know? The guy you know knows all the nook and crannies where to take you, where you can get away with it. You just ain't gonna do nothing with nobody, because you're smart and you're professional. There's stuff you want to get done. You see? So I guess Vinny was kind of, pre-Vinny was kind of ready. He was ready for the next timeline because he had the character for it. Where, you know, he can be trusted. He's not going to violate any boundaries. He's not going to cross any boundaries. He's going to blend in well with the paradigm. You see? The perimeters of the paradigm are not restrictive to those who are supposed to go there. And you find out how many can't abide by those parameters just by looking around you and the world here if you come here. Oh, yeah. 2:35 a.m., so it's 2:28 a.m. We got some cars coming out the freeway. Headed north this way. 2 or 3 of them. And they're finally here. A minute later. Speedway.
Sometimes you can do everything right, and you still can't win. Yep. Sometimes anything somebody can use to hurt you, they'll use it. Pen, paper, a phone, their body. Yeah. It's been a hard 11 months, man.
Played live for you at 11 p.m. by somebody in the military. Well, surely some of you recognize that as Amber's handwriting. Yeah. Steps are already being taken in response to that. I got the papers already. I know what I got to do. Sad thing is, if I hadn't canceled the divorce last time, I would have been divorced June 7th, and none of this shit would even matter right now. I'd have my money back by now. And it's like, hey, wow, you don't have to miss this motherfucker. Run down there. Go on. You see? So there's your argument for the AFC home and guardianship, right? I mean, some people, that's all that works for them. You got to protect them from their own decisions, like junkies and shit. Yeah, and there you go. The cop was right. I was wrong. She's been outsmarting me. She's got nothing for me. She has no attachment to me whatsoever. I'm just some old dude she's using as a buffer between her and an AFC home guardianship. That's all she even worries about. When she cries about losing me, she just worries about going to an AFC home if we're divorced. It's like, well, somebody's got to intervene, right? Look at you. You don't make not one adult decision when given the opportunity to choose your husband like an adult woman would do, or choose some other guy. What do? The little spoiled child thing. Every fucking time. You never, ever, ever chose your husband over somebody else, and you've been with him 11 months. And you've had a lot of opportunities to choose him. You're just not capable of it, see? Some people are right. I'm starting to learn. I don't know, within a month from now, things will be drastically different. Y'all may not even recognize my life. It'd be, wow, it was so totally trashed. That chick just fucking firebombed his life until there was nothing left. She left it in rubble. He must have found a really awesome chick to fucking goddamn help him rebuild it. Become that phoenix to shot up out of the ashes that was left of his life. Yeah, I'm a phoenix, motherfucker. I will fucking goddamn rise up bigger and better just for spite, for meanness. It's like, there you go. Oh, you miss singing with fucking goddamn Numb? All right, well, we'll just take you off the songs and you won't be part of my music act. There you go. Go on back and sit and sing in a goddamn motherfucking field somewhere at 10 or something. Go back to what you was then. I'm fine with that. I've been fine with it since fucking goddamn you proved that we didn't have a marriage 4 days after we were married. For the same motherfucker. For y'all who don't know, I came back in time to this timeline, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. Probably about 30 years ago. I wiped some snot on the wall and it had boogers in it, in the ghetto. That shit animated into a person and is now Dylan McLansboro. But you see, booger eaters don't want to eat steak, they want to eat boogers, so there you go. Present her with a steak like me or a booger like him, well, she don't want the booger now. She keeps proving that. Don't give me that delicious steak. Don't give me that big meaty steak. Just want some boogers, yo. I'm from Grayling and I'm small town minded. Look at me. Got no aspirations to do something with somebody from Detroit. Something I could do, something real, something big. Let me stay little, let's stay broke, stay fucking goddamn borderline homeless with this motherfucker over here. Alright, well there you go. Since you intended to send that letter, it will get sent out. But then I have my own phone. All my fucking passwords will be changed. So there you go. $11:29 p.m. So it's 11:22. Yeah, Monday night. Got my little dog back with me down there. It's just me and him and the kitty against the world now, y'all. We're totally alone. We invested 11 months in the wrong entity. Wasted the time. We might as well have just pissed it down the fucking toilet. And what's weird is I tried to picture it today if me and this Dylan guy were the last two people on earth and I had a vagina. And, you know, I'm a woman and, you know, Vinny's a woman. Pre-Vinny's a woman. So I have all of his shit from his physical shit that, you know, it seeps into my spirit while I'm here. So I understand, you know, the attraction that Vinny might feel towards a male entity, you know, if he had his vagina. So I tried to picture, hey, you know, a scenario like that. We're the last two people on earth who could save the human race just by fucking. And if Dylan fucked me and spawned a baby with me, we could save the race. Well, you know what? The species would fucking die, all right? Because I couldn't picture it. I literally pictured myself picking up a jagged stick and fucking myself with that and giving myself splinters in my vagina before I would let that last man on the world touch me physically. So I guess, you know, it's a mental illness thing. If somebody would be attracted to that at all, but find it more attractive than somebody, you know, it's God compared to him like me. It's like he's my snot I wiped on the wall years ago as a time traveler. It manifested into what looks like a human, but he's not a human. He's far less than me. He's subhuman. So I guess for you to want him more than me, you must be subhuman too. We got a lot of subhumans afflicting those who really exist. A lot of welfare families who don't exist up in here. Accruing more debt, fucking us over. Yeah, I'm so fucking gone from this town, yo. Just have to physically leave it. My heart and my spirit are long gone from here. I got nothing left for this town now, except for hatred and disdain. I fucking hate this place. Fuck this place. Fuck the people here. Fuck them. All that's here is retarded women and those who want to fuck retarded women. So I guess they're all feeble-minded. I brought the only good bitch to this town, and she's gone now. This town had one good woman in it for 12, 13 years. And now she's gone. She was a goddess too, man. Elevated me like a king above all the fucking riffraff disguised as men. All those who wanted to commit adultery and shit. My life, 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 my life. Fire truck from our fire department. 11:45, so it's 11:38. That you just heard is going to be a hook for a song about why so few in this generation are marriage material. Because, well, they got this mentality, my life. Now, when you get married, if you're intelligent, soulmate becomes our lives. You're connected to somebody, so you no longer think in terms of my life, my decisions. It's our lives, our decisions. Do you see? But if you end up with somebody really broken, you don't get that connection, yo. So, my life, my life, not our life, my life, not our life, my life. And there's the county police and the city police just came off the same road. That's East 72. So they came from east. The city police just pulled in the speedway over there. In front of them was a fire truck. It's 11:50, so it's 11:43 p.m. So I take it these guys are on the way back from something that happened down there. 24, so it's 11:47. And it's the city police. Just less Speedway. Yeah. Oh, I'm lying here beside him with Dylan on my mind. Oh, I'm lying here with Dylan on my mind. He don't know that I think about Dylan all the time. Then his heart can break and I'll be just fine. 'Cause I'm lying here beside him with Dylan on my mind. They write country songs about how sad this shit is, yo. Linda on my mind. Or was it Lisa? It was Linda on my mind. And I remember some dude singing Lisa on my mind to Lisa through my microphone when I was part of Nebula. My guitar player's dad came out from Virginia, West Virginia or some shit, Louisiana, some shit like that. He came all the way up here and we were fucking around and he was standing behind my mic singing into it and shit. And he was singing to Lisa, I'm standing here with Lisa on my mind. Yeah. It was funny. Good times, yo. From the goddess days. Before we hit the gargoyle days. Small town gargoyle and shit. Just picture flies ain't safe to fly around or a little tongue will fly out. Eat the flies and shit. Oh shit, it's crazy, yo. I've never experienced anything this crazy. I'm from the ghettos of Detroit. I've experienced some crazy ass shit. It was the city police. Well, this town is patrolled tonight. No, that's not the same one. 12:29 a.m., so it's 12:22, August 24th. Tuesday. Y'all saw at the beginning of this video what I got for my birthday this year. Some more stabs. Everywhere is like a stab to the heart. Imagine being stabbed at repeatedly. I got stabbed at repeatedly today. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I read it over and over and over. Just kept stabbing myself with it. So that whatever love I did have love for this chick would just bleed out. Bleed right out of my spirit, so I got nothing left for her now. Yeah. Sure wish I never would have came to this town, yo. This town is downright assaultive. These white people are mean. They're hurty, man. They'll fuck with you just for meanness, for spite, for sport. It's a sport to them to break people's hearts and fuck with them. Hurt kitties and shit. These motherfuckers are down with causing unnecessary suffering in this town. give fresh blood transfusion into my spirit. Knows what the fuck. I know I got turned into something pretty mean. Out of a hell of a nice guy. Yep. You don't seem to be nice to this demographic no more. You'll never see me stand up for him again either. 12:48 a.m. So it's 12:41. It's a nice night out, mid-60s. You can actually hear crickets again. Since we noticed they were missing and started talking about it on the internet, it's like they seeded the crickets back, put them back. Either that or they put us all in a construct and they forgot to put crickets in it, so we started noticing. So they decided, oh yeah, we need to make it more realistic, let's put some crickets in there. Who knows? Who knows what's happening here, right? You can jump from the next timeline here and still not know what you jumped into. I know your women in this timeline are pretty rancid, trashy, and junky. I think that's why the timeline's shit. The quality of the female of the species. 101, so it's what? 254. No, it's 102, so it's 255. Or 1255, sorry. Yeah. There's a kitty crossing the street.
Let's stand it.
Little cat.
Let's stand it, honey.
Well, I guess it's a good thing for him he didn't end up with us since it all fell apart. He would have been the odd man out anyway. Lisa might take Zephyr, but I don't know if she'd take more than that. If you come to this timeline, you might find yourself incredibly alone. It's scary to be amongst these entities alone, because you know that the majority of them don't even exist in the next timeline. So there must be reasons that they got time looped and spiritually executed, aka phantomized, to never get born, right? So it's like you're always potentially a victim of just about everyone around, right? Because there's only 500 million of us, and there ain't a whole lot of us jumping back. Who would want to come back to this timeline? We've read the books, right? They're fictional accounts, supposedly, but they actually are about the welfare phantoms who lived here, who had to be undone.